everyone. It's a great day, and I have 2 reasons why it's great. First of all, I hung out with my niece today, and she is pregnant with twins, and those 2 twins are going to make me Great Uncle Dave. And the second reason it's great is because we are back once again for another episode of the BigRedBarelcast.
I could have sworn you were going to say you didn't get a speeding ticket for once or something.
I think he just wants a t-shirt that says Great Uncle Dave on it.
Great Uncle Dave. Actually, I have a shirt that says Dave, the man, the myth, the legend.
So when you say great uncle, you're literally... Who did you say was having a kid?
My niece.
Oh, your niece.
She's having twins.
Man. Twins.
Twins.
That's a handful of trouble for the parents.
It's just funny because you rarely hear the great uncle part being thrown around.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Especially at your age.
Especially at my age. Dude, I was an uncle before I was 1.
Wow.
Yeah, my sister's much older than I.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. It wasn't like a whoops.
I'm glad that's the case, because the alternative isn't flattering.
I was going to say, I'm just going to stop that conversation there.
Yeah, my sister's just much older than I. So, Kev, out in jolly old England, tell us what's great.
What's great is I'm almost over my cold. I still got a bit of a cough, but it's almost gone, and that has been a pain in my proverbial and physical arse. It hasn't really been a pain in my physical arse. It's not like I've been, like, having an anal breach due to it or anything.
I coughed so hard I squirted.
Yeah. Just nearly, like, let go of my intestine out of the hole. But it didn't happen, so that was cool. That's great.
There you go. And Pacman up in Canada, what's great for you, man?
Well, everything is great now. Everything's great now. Last weekend, unlike the boys who have, like, you know, runny noses and coughs, I basically just puked and shit for 2.5 days, and then I felt perfectly fine. It was great. And during that time, I just redefined for myself that, you know, Mechwarrior Online is better than Hawken. A lot better.
Is Mechwarrior free to play online?
Yes.
It is.
It is, and it is superior in every way that really matters to Hawken. You can, if you're a Hawken fan, you need to try Mechwarrior Online. And if you play Mechwarrior Online and you haven't played Hawken, go play Hawken in a little bit, just to remind yourself how much better Mechwarrior Online is.
Well, if the Hawken booth was any at PAX last year was any indication of how good it is, it was pretty. Like, it wasn't even a booth. It was like one of the tables in the trade area.
It's got Oculus Rift support, though.
I don't know what that means.
What? How do you not know about Oculus Rift?
I don't know. I know about Tokyo Drift.
It's the
same thing.
Yeah. Same thing.
Right.
It's the VR helmet, right?
Yeah, it's the new VR helmet with like John Carmack leading the way in terms of the tech, as far as I'm aware.
You know who doesn't have a VR helmet? Any of us.
Bloody will do know when that thing comes out.
Oh, you will get one?
Hells yeah.
You want to buy me one too?
No.
Damn it!
It's just one of the many things that I gotta put on the list to save up for. Like, I spent all my frivolous money on Kickstarters that aren't going to pay out for about 2 years, so...
Well, it could be worse. You could be like Tim on UK and still be waiting on your Ouya.
This is true. I'll tell you one thing, is I can afford it next year, because the one thing I won't be doing this year, or next year, is buying in on the first generation of the next console cycle.
What?
I'm not making that mistake again.
What?
Dude, I got burned on the PS3 for a good long time.
What?
Got burned on the Wii U. That one's still hurting.
Well, here's the question: How long is the first generation?
Well, I don't know until they get their gears together and start.
You talking about Gears of War 5?
No, I don't give a shit about Gears of War anymore.
But you want to wait for the PS4 Slim or whatever their first revised model is.
Dude, how long did it take them to put out? It took years to get a Slim.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll wait that long. I just want to see what they do to make it worth buying that system. Because right now I've got a pretty capable PC. And
well, there you go.
I'm happy about that. Like, I can play all the third-party stuff. And I can't imagine there's going to be that much first-party stuff coming out, like, exclusive to those platforms in the first year or two.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, PlayStation took, 2 years before Uncharted came out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years?
Yeah, man. I think so.
It was so long ago. I didn't have one at that time, so I can't remember. I was not an early adopter. That's Rothbart. And he ain't here anymore.
Well, I got it on day one. Like I said, I got a bit burned.
Yizasaka.
I played Resistance about 4 times in a row because there was nothing else to play. Oh, and I played that Rubber Ducks game. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, boy. Well, we got the agenda here, and apparently Pac-Man's been playing some video games when he's not throwing up or shitting himself. So Pac-Man, Company Heroes 2 beta, what's up?
There's not. I'm not going to get into it in any great detail because it is still the beta, and you're just playing multiplayer. But
let me ask quickly. I previewed this at Eurogamer Expo last year, and my takeaway from that was it was everything you loved about the first game, but it just looks nicer, and that's completely fine.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it's exactly what you just said. It's everything from Company Heroes 1 with little improvements to the UI, little improvements to how the AI works for the units, but it's everything you loved done better with better maps, and there's a lot more variety in the commanders that you can have and the vehicles and stuff. There's I'd say almost maybe 40% more vehicles and unit types in the game. There's tons of powers, but it all works really well. And the 2 big mechanics that they added, being the visibility in the weather and the fact that the weather can kill you and the ability to fall through the ice, is just a nice little extra touch that just makes the game sick. And then the weather effect even plays out in multiplayer, which is sick.
You and I really need to play some multiplayer because I've got the beta installed on my system and I haven't actually touched it yet.
I've almost put about 20 hours into a beta.
That's crazy. Hey, look, SimCity, that's how you do a beta.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to use a beta to sell a game, which I don't think people should, but they do, the Company Heroes 2 beta has done right.
Is it dope?
And they've patched it so aggressively.
Is it all that in a bag of chips?
But on the flip side, I was playing. I bought Star Drive. It was one of these Kickstarter games, and like we're starting to notice, a lot of these Kickstarters, I think that they're a new group. They're usually a lot of them are first-time developers, and they don't really set benchmarks and release dates when they should. So Star Drive is a 4X space strategy game, and it's really good. It's got a lot of cool things, but it's not done yet. And it's, for $30, I really enjoyed it, but I think it'll be a way better game because he's going to continue to support it for another, at least another 6 months just fixing it. But it's one of these Kickstarters that, it has a great idea and it has some cool mechanics, but it could have spent a lot more time and polish. So I don't think it should have been released, and it's certainly not worth $30.
Did you play Endless Space?
I did.
And how does it compare to that?
Endless
they're both
Space
4X in space. I just figure there must be some level of comparison there.
Endless Space is a much bigger game. There's a lot more going on. Star Drive, a lot of the stuff is the quirkiness of the other races, and a lot of it is toggling different types of automation. So like automated colonizing, automated this. Whereas Endless Space, you got to pay attention to a lot more. But Endless Space at the same time was really broken in a lot of ways in terms of playing it long term. Like a lot of the stuff wasn't easy to follow, and a lot of the mechanics didn't really work. Whereas Star Drive is very simple and elegant, and you can have big fleets, but you can automize a lot of the stuff. But there's just not enough events, and the UI and the tutorial is just non-existent. The tutorial is literally 5 screens, which just tell you the hotkeys and a couple other basics, and that's all you have to really learn the game.
Where is Alpha Centauri 2? That's the one we need.
It's probably the same place Incredible Crisis is.
Oh man,
where's a reboot of Master of Orion, or something to truly replace Masters of Orion? I can never remember. Is it Masters or Master? It's Master of Orion.
I don't know actually.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
but there's an agenda still.
Indeed,
we still have news topics to cover. Hey, Pac-Man, did you get this wrong? Are the major topics on top and the minor topics on the bottom?
No, minor topics are on top.
You and I clearly have different ways we would label things. We got some Beyond Two Souls goodness, a trailer, and 35 minutes of game footage at a film festival, which lets you know
David Cage is a maniac.
It's an interactive movie now.
Yeah,
not really
that's what it is. And apparently, we're going to follow Ellen Page through the trials and tribulations of her and William Dafoe.
I think I've made my opinion on David Cage's games clear at this point.
I got to admit though that not thinking, like, let's just think about it as a movie, because it's basically what it is. It looks cool. There's some really cool stuff going on in that trailer, and that 35 minutes of gameplay is really well done. It really does seem like a movie with some interactive elements. But watch the trailer. If you are interested at all in this game, don't watch the 35 minutes of gameplay.
And also don't watch the trailer, because you will lose interest. I lost more interest watching the trailer.
I tried watching the gameplay. I really tried to watch the gameplay. And after 3 minutes of her walking, I decided, nope.
So you guys didn't see how crazy the last half of that gameplay trailer is?
No.
It's insane. It's insane. Like, it is really, really cool.
Would you describe it as off the chisane?
Yes.
Is it Ratchet?
It's not Ratchet, though.
Oh.
But like, watch the little trailer that has little highlights in it. But don't, if you're at all interested, you should. I'm now interested in this game in a way I wasn't before because of the end of that gameplay thing. So if you need something to sell you, maybe watch the gameplay stuff. But if you're already interested, don't watch it, because it does spoil like two really cool moments in what I'm sure would be the story for that game.
Here's the thing: as much as I harp on about David Cage, I will probably still give this game a try. Because I gave Heavy Rain a fair shout, because I wanted to think it was great. We came out at Eurogamer Expo the year before that came out, thinking Heavy Rain was the game of the show, based on the short demo that we played. So I want this game to be brilliant.
I want this. I think it'll be a really great long movie.
Yeah. Did you like Heavy Rain, Pacman?
I did. My beef with Heavy Rain wasn't really the presentation or the gameplay as it was, as much as the fact that some of the mechanics were kind of annoying, and the game's like the story premise and the
writing
major
was just
plot
terrible.
holes and stuff.
Yeah.
The writing for that game undid the good parts of that game.
Yeah.
Well, if this game is no good, David Cage is just going to say that he needed more polygons. If he would have put this out on the PS4, the polygons would have made it better.
No, he'll do what he did last time and blame the players for not understanding his vision.
David Cage's vision can
whatever. Heavy Rain got a lot of love, a lot of awards. Gave him the ability to go and give lectures at different events. So
I'm sorry, but if you're blaming the players, then you've done something f***ing wrong on a purely design level.
You know what I don't like to do in the year 2013? Stack plates or put them on the table. I don't want to do that.
Well, that's the one thing about this game is because you're playing her life from a little kid up to a young adult, right?
Yeah, but David Cage loves to make you do tedious crap like walk around dumpsters, but make it not something that can just be done.
Yeah, but the video documentary, as they're building the game, they've said that like all the different periods of her life that you go visit, they all have some sort of big moment attached to them. So if you're seeing her as a little kid, something important's going to happen. It's not going to be you're as a little kid and like, oh, let's make her take her first poop, or ride a bike for the first time, or something stupid like that.
You clearly overestimate David Cage.
Yeah.
There might be something important that happens, but that doesn't mean you're going to spend the 30 minutes before it stacking blocks or bouncing a ball.
I don't see him doing some of the mundane stuff he did with Heavy Rain this time.
You clearly don't know David Cage. That's what makes people emote.
I don't know. I mean, it's just we're really judging him off of one game.
No, we're not. I'm judging him off of two.
Boom.
Off of two?
Well, Indigo Prophecy was just as f***ing annoying as Heavy Rain.
Oh yeah, but a lot less people played Indigo Prophecy.
Well, sure, but that doesn't make it any less worse.
That's true. It's true.
His point is still valid.
Moving on from it, I think Beyond Two Souls is worth watching when it comes out.
It's worth watching. Why doesn't he just put out a version that just like a movie where you could just watch it?
Yeah, the whole time I hear him talk, I'm like, why don't you just make a CG movie, dude? Seems to be what you want to do.
Because then the movie would be short. He wants to make a 60-hour film.
The player must feel like he is playing the character.
You must feel it deep down in your taint.
When you make the character wash dishes, it is giving you access into the mundane parts of the character's life, making you feel more like a part of him. No, David Cage. What it is us making someone wash plates.
Yes. Or take a tickle. That lets you see into their soul. Ugh.
Yeah.
So,
we'll see.
We do two things on the show every week. One, we like to bitch about the Wii U because Kev has one, and he's not yet satisfied. He has yet to climax. And there's nothing about that this week, so that means it's time for a SimCity 2 update!
Wait. I can say about the Wii U very quickly.
Oh, I was wrong.
The Rayman Challenge Packs got released for free this week for Wii U owners, and they are freaking brilliant.
Okay, so Kev has something positive to say about his Wii U.
And if you have a Wii U and have Rayman, add me on the Wii U multi-thing.
There's 3.6 million of you out there.
I'm on there as Krelith. Add me. I want to see how my times do against everyone else. That's my Rayman update.
Okay, fine.
Carry on. What were we on about? SimCity?
SimCity.
That piece of shit.
There's an update. They patched some things.
Yeah, their big 2.0 update. If you were hoping against hope that you could install this new update and SimCity wouldn't be the broken piece of shit it is, your hopes were misplaced because it fixed a couple little things and broke a whole bunch more. I literally have every bus in my city parked in a big gigantic block in the middle of an avenue, not moving. They don't pick up passengers. They don't earn money. They just sit there blocking other traffic behind them. It's literally a roadblock made of buses sitting in the middle of my city, and it won't move for anything.
There's a new bug that's been reported where fire engines will stop at traffic lights and then suddenly replicate several million times and crash the game because the game hasn't got enough memory access to deal with all those fire engines.
Oh, let's talk about one of the things that they built this always online DRM bullshit around. Being able to trade between cities and import resources so that you can build products, in a city that doesn't have access to all the stuff it needs. That still doesn't work. And when I say doesn't work, I don't mean like it kind of works and you can kind of get away with it. I mean it really simply does not work half the time. I mean, I gotta have two different of the supply depots trying to import stuff, and no imports will show up, and I'll be like, okay, and then suddenly they'll be full, but I won't be able to use them to actually build anything because it says it's full, but the game doesn't believe that it's actually there. I mean, it's just go back and pick up SimCity 4 for $5 off Steam, people.
Pacman, I think it's time you and I came to a decision, and that decision is to pull the trigger on uninstalling this game.
Yeah,
and just maybe we come back to it in a year and see how it's doing. But at this point, I paid 40 quid for Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was the game I got for free. Yeah,
and I the free game I got was SimCity 4, so I guess I kind of broke even.
Yeah.
So glad I didn't buy into that. Go me.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next?
Well, good news, everyone.
Yay!
So there's Sony. They hired somebody to do some advertising for them. How about that, huh?
You didn't actually click on the link, did you?
I did. I saw the little thing they won with the commercial.
That wasn't actually the video that they posted in the first link. I think it's the first. Oh no,
I clicked on the second link.
In the second link is actually there's a whole bunch. But basically, what happened is Sony's advertising campaigns blow. Every time they have a good one.
Hey, wait! Kevin Butler was pretty good.
Yeah, but even Kevin Butler, they never ever truly capitalize on how good the Kevin Butler ads are. So Sony can come up with a good...
That E3 appearance was pretty good.
It was pretty epic. His name is gaming, forever may he reign.
But they could have used him to really aggressively hype up all of their first party titles, and he didn't do that.
They did do that.
He hyped up the big first party titles at E3.
No, dude, they had commercials. Like he had a commercial for God of War, the one where like the girl's complaining that like her boyfriend's ignoring. He's like, okay, thanks, yeah,
But he's been one of their main spokespersons for a while, for at least 4 years of the PS3. And he came out for stuff that was attached to E3, so he did a little Killzone thing, he did a little Uncharted thing, but he could have done it for all the Uncharted games. He could have done all the releases and all the sequels and all the DLC. Like he could have been their main guy attached to everything Sony does big, and he wasn't. They just brought him out once in a while to hype things up when their hype train was dead.
What have we been saying since we started this show, lads? It's that Sony, among many things actually, but one of them is Sony have not advertised anything in years. I don't know what's going on with those people.
But this is why what they've done is cool. Basically, they picked up the crew at MoFilm, who are sort of like they run contests to get filmmakers to do different things. So Sony's hired them as a crowdsourcing agency. So basically, what happened is they gave out a trip to Barcelona and different cash prizes to people to come up with Sony ads, and there's a whole bunch of them from the Barcelona 2013 contest. And Sony's going to use these short films as part of their advertising campaign. And since they're not the generic focus-tested bullshit, some of the videos that MoFilm's going to put out that have won and Sony's going to use as commercials are actually really, really cool. And there's a bunch of them, so they can use them to hype up Sony at any given time, and they'll have something really polished and cool to show off that's not just some sort of basic TV commercial that everyone does.
I don't know, dude. I didn't really dig any of these. You know what I want? I want, if Sony wants to, get people on the hype train, they need, remember that one commercial they did where like Kratos and Drake were all in a bar?
Yeah. That
was a good commercial. They need to do stuff like that. It's like, they're back and better, PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Michael ad was really good, and they never keep the hype train momentum going. Every time they have a really good ad, they let it phase out. Yeah, the Michael ad was sick.
Like the one that won this, it's like just some people sitting there talking about breaking the rules, the boundaries.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between ads that are talking about a specific game and brand commercials, because that's what all these are. They're just brand commercials. They're not hyping Killzone or any specific game, so there's no gameplay to show off.
But if they're about gaming, they need to be talking about games, not talking about breaking the rules. I don't want you to break the rules, Sony. I want you to give me some goddamn games. I don't want to be like Kev when I get the PlayStation 4, being like, I just want to play games, Sony. That's all. I don't want to be that guy. Sorry, Kev. That was a horrible impersonation.
It's alright.
But you know what I'm saying.
That's pretty much what I sound like, yeah.
Oh, me.
Moving on.
There's a commercial, an ad for the XCOM shooter, The Bureau. It's coming out August, yeah.
Sorry, August.
I don't know. I still think it's stupid that they left the XCOM name into the Bureau.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should have just left that as the Bureau. Calling
it the Bureau, XCOM declassified rather. They should have just got rid of the XCOM declassified thing, and it could have still been about aliens. It could still have all this thing.
I think at this point they've got so many assets with names tied to XCOM in it that they probably couldn't get rid of it. Like, if you notice in the trailer, there's a door that says Illyrium Laboratory, so there's probably something like that in the game where Illyrium is referred to.
Well, the other thing is, it really could be a cool background tie-in to if we think about the strategy game is the main series and this is a supporting game, which seems to be what they're trying to do. But there's things that they kept in or have changed since the strategy game came out. So the new one, the Bureau, single player only, multi-platform, is set in 1962. It's third person, but still squad based, and there's permadeath. So just like in the XCOM strategy game, if your guys die in the Bureau, they'll stay dead.
I gotta say, the way it's described, it sounds like the events of that particular game are not going to be known in the canon of the Firaxis game. So I'm interested to see how they can handle this massive invasion by aliens and keep it all under wraps, because I guess that's what the declassified is hinting to.
I don't know. It might not be a massive invasion as much as like an incursion.
Maybe just a town or something.
It sounds like the declassified, since it's set in the 60s, is like the precursor to the invasion we know is coming in the timeline of the strategy game.
Yeah, which is an interesting premise, and I'll be interested to see how well that comes out, because I can't imagine it started that way.
I like the time period of it all, because you don't usually get mini games outside of that horrible Rockstar game that are set, in a time when men would wear hats and suits every day, smoke a cigarette, have a good time, have a cup of coffee.
I mean, that's back when the FBI was the FBI.
Yeah, they're the FBI, wearing the pants high.
Yeah. It could be cool.
Dude, it could totally be like a film noir space adventure.
But every time you hear about a game that's gone through developmental changes and stuff like this, you got to think that the odds are against it being amazing.
I don't know, dude. XCOM went through some developmental changes.
No, that's true. Yeah, but I mean, but that's why the XCOM strategy game being so great was such a big shock to everyone.
Because if I remember correctly, I mean, I could be wrong. I think I saw a preview for XCOM once, and it was set like in the 60s, and like you were running around with G-men on your squad.
You sure you're not thinking about the XCOM shooter?
I think
the strategy only got unveiled publicly when like it was already about to come out.
I could be wrong then. Maybe this was the one I was looking at.
Yeah, I think it was this one. But I'm really glad that they're now downplaying the stupid black shadowy goo whatever things, because that I saw that as in their gameplay demo for the XCOM shooter originally, and I'm like, that looks boring as hell.
I would not be surprised if they've retooled a lot of those assets to more resemble the Firaxis games look at this point, which is good.
Yeah, I expect. Which means we're going to see a lot of the men in suits from the strategy games as the bad guys. I could see that. That'd be perfect.
Oh, you know what? Maybe that's where the tall men came from.
The tall men,
or at least the look of the tall men, because obviously they're lizard people. But
with those smug looks on their faces, you got to wipe them off with a bullet.
They need to go shopping at different stores. They're all wearing the same suit. That's kind of weird.
Next up. Batman Arkham Origins. Multiplayer rumored.
So we got a new studio, so Warner Brothers Montreal instead of Rocksteady's making it, and they're like, you know what Batman needs? You know what everyone's been asking for? No, what is it? Oh, it's multiplayer. No, it's not.
Never asked for that. Never said multiplayer my Batman.
Yeah, no one wants...
Hold up. There's a possibility that it could be okay. If they do it in like the...
I don't want it to be okay. I want it to be as awesome as the rest of Batman, or I don't want it at all.
Which would be possible if they do it like the... what was that mode in Crysis 3? Hunter, was it? Where one of you plays in the cryo suit and the rest of you are foot soldiers?
Yeah, but can the mechanics really flow that way?
Yeah, man.
I think it would be cool if it was co-op, where like you're Batman, Robin... or Nightwing or somebody like that, and Catwoman, and you have to take down a group of people, kind of like Mass Effect. Like you have waves of guys, but you have to take them out stealthy like.
Yeah,
I mean anything's possible. Yeah, they could make multiplayer and it could be great. Do any of us three actually think that the multiplayer for Batman Arkham Origins is going to be great? I certainly don't. It
depends. As I say, it depends how they go about it. If they do the Predator mode thing, I see no reason why that wouldn't be really fun.
I don't want it.
We'll see.
It's not like it's necessary, I guess, is the thing.
It is very unnecessary. Just give me a good long game. That's all I want. I want to be Batman. And Kevin Conroy is apparently coming back to be the voice of Batman. And that makes me happy.
He is the Batman. There is no other voice of Batman as far as I'm concerned.
Certainly not Christian Bale.
Or, Did you watch the Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah.
Movies? Man.
Yeah.
Peter Weller's a weird sounding Batman.
He's a terrible sounding Batman. Terrible.
You know who could be the voice of Batman and be pretty amazing? Tom Hardy. I swoon.
Yeah, he could get away with it, I guess. Tom Hardy can get away with anything.
He got away with being a fat Bane, so he can do anything he wants.
You just don't understand what he's all about.
It's just a pity that film didn't get away with being good even slightly.
Anyways, the Nextbox, I think that should be the title, is going to be revealed on May 21st. Officially released.
So basically, everyone's sort of assuming that the 21st is going to be their spec. They're going to release, this is probably what the Xbox looks like, maybe. This is the new controller. This is the new foundations for the system.
You think they'll actually show the console? They'll do what Sony didn't do?
I have a feeling they're either going to show the hardware side of it on the 21st and the software side at E3, or the hardware side at E3 and the software side on the 21st. One or the other. But they're going to use... they've got it made picking their announcement date so close to E3.
They're more likely to do software at this one, like the upcoming games lineup, and then concentrate, because this isn't going to get covered, I imagine, by all of the major press outlets like MSNBC and the USA Today and whoever, whereas E3 always does. So I've got to imagine their press conference at E3 is going to be the one where they say, here's what it's for your family, and the other one will be the gamers.
I don't know, Microsoft's been pushing, their ad campaigns are already going into full swing. Like, I've seen quite a few spots in the local, like even the local paper here talking about, Microsoft's going to announce their new system on the 21st. So I don't know how much press it'll get versus E3. You might be right, though.
I don't know. Either way, don't think for a second that you're not going to have to sit through, like, 30 minutes of Connect 2 demonstrations.
Is Kono going to come out and be like, yeah, watch this. You could hit the ball.
God.
Yeah.
I've got no interest in this whole Xbox thing at all at the moment.
You're such a snob, Kev.
I don't need it right now, I guess is the main thing.
You need it, Kev. You need it.
But also, there's just all of these rumours that are coming out. If they turn out to all be not true, I may be more excited about it. But
the thing about these kind of rumors is they're never completely wrong. It's just sort of half right, half wrong.
Hey, you know what I'm excited about? That's going to be a full show worth of content for the Burbcast.
I mean, totally true.
We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We might even pee on some stuff.
Make fun of Ubisoft again.
Yeah, Ubisoft's going to be there. We are here to show support for the new Xbox.
Anyway.
Yeah. I don't like coming off on this podcast like I hate everything. I know that's what it sounds like.
You do hate everything. You're a hater.
I recently got called like incredibly cynical by some guy on an iTunes review, which is like, yeah, I guess I can be viewed that way, but it's not because I don't want to like these things.
Hipster.
But I mean, it's not cynicism when you're learning from past experience.
Yeah, maybe I've just lived through more shit than a lot of these people have. That kind of experience breeds cynicism.
The thing is, too, is like, we all want good games. Like, if there's a really, really, really amazing game on the 360, that would be cool. Like,
yeah.
I'm not against getting a new Xbox if there's really good games behind it, but all the extra stuff sounds pretty negative.
Hey, real talk. I'm looking forward to see what they do with Halo 5. I don't think Halo plays great. I've never really enjoyed it that much, but the story I love. Which is the wrong thing to love about Halo, I realise, but that's just the way I fall down.
Real talk, Epic, I need something from you. I need another Gears game. And hold on before you groan, it needs to be called Gears of War, The Coltrane Chronicles. That's what I need. That's what I want. I wanted more Coltrane. You didn't give it to me with Judgment. I need my Coltrane.
I hate to disappoint you, Dave, but I don't think Epic are making games anymore.
I don't think you understand me. I said, woo!
Alright, fair. Good argument, well made.
Anyways, so 2K Games not going to go to E3 because they don't have any games to show.
That's not really true.
It's not really true, but if they went, then Gearbox has got to go, and Gearbox not so popular.
This is the first I've heard of this, and it astounds me slightly because Grand Theft Auto 5 is due out this year.
Does 2K publish that?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean Rockstar is not going to be there.
Well, they're the production house of Take-Two, aren't they? So, yeah.
This is true.
That confuses me greatly. That means that I guess Grand Theft Auto 5 isn't going to show at E3, which is mental. Because you've got to imagine, that game is the last big hurrah of this generation of consoles.
It's not going to be the last hurrah for me.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's weird that 2K... I mean, and the big influence, too, is that 2K has always had booths for their sports games. And that's not going to be there either.
Well, dude, that's like half of the EA booth usually. It's usually like, hey, we've got the Battlefield or whatever, and and Madden and MLB and whatever.
So 2K this year are releasing Grand Theft Auto 5, so that won't be there. The XCOM shooter,
not going to be there.
Apparently that I guess won't be there. And I mean, in terms of basketball, they have the best. On the most loved game, right?
There is no NBA Live anymore. NBA Live is done. EA hung it up.
So they have the only basketball game, which they're not going to show either. So.
I think EA might still do like college hoops.
Well, I don't know. It sounds crazy. There's got to be something from those games at E3.
I don't know. Maybe they figure E3's not really worth it because if they don't have anything to announce, they can just save it, take it to the PAXs, and sell the shit and be like, give it to the people. Because last year at PAX Prime. The 2K booth was the one that you had to stand in a long-ass line to get to, and that was to play XCOM and Borderlands 2.
Well, they have got a history of unveiling games at E3, like Duke Nukem Forever. Sorry, I meant PAX, not E3.
Yeah, they did. Did. Actually, that was Gearbox that did that, though. I remember Mikey Newman, hey, we've got it. You wanted it. Here it is. And I was all like, yeah! And then I played it, and I was all like, nah.
Oh, Duke Nukem.
But Tuesday, we get Duke Nukem as portrayed by Michael Biehn in the Blood Dragon DLC.
Yes. That's gonna be good.
That looks awesome.
But speaking of people who aren't going to be at E3...
Nintendo, no big E3 presser. Just going to be on the floor. That means we don't have to watch Iwata come out and go... and stumble through his English.
Which again seems crazy to me, not because I don't think that E3's influence is waning, because it obviously is. But I was reading in the... I want to say the National Post, that's a newspaper here, and if anyone's Canadian and knows what the National Post is, I had nothing to read, that's why I was reading that trash.
Were you reading it on the crapper?
I was.
Called it!
But they were saying that, there's these 2 polls that they put out asking people about video games, and more than half the respondents were unaware that the Wii U was an actual new system.
Yeah.
Even now, and I want to say that the poll was 20 to 45 or something. It was adults, and they didn't realize, just because the branding of the Wii U, just calling it Wii U instead of Wii 2 or some sort of numerical addition to the name. I mean, people saw the initial commercials and thought that the Wii U was just a new controller, and they still do. Yeah. So Nintendo not taking the opportunity at E3 to really re-push
that brand.
What actually is the Wii U, why you need it, why it's different from the original Wii, and really stressing that seems like a missed opportunity. Even if E3 is waning a little bit, it's still E3. There's still a lot of press.
Maybe they don't have anything to announce.
It's doubly confusing because the big news networks don't cover Nintendo Directs. They don't cover Game Informer or Kotaku. They cover E3. Once a year they come out and see what the games people are doing, and they publish it on a national level. And if Nintendo aren't doing an E3 press conference, they're losing out on that section of the audience, which is massive.
And really... And the Wii U doesn't seem to be in a situation where they can afford to miss that. It just seems really crazy. I mean, they're really doubling down on their direct play events and whatnot. So
the Nintendo Directs, yeah, but the big press outlets don't care about Nintendo Direct.
Yep.
And I doubt there's any way you can convince them to. Now, on the flip side of this, I understand why this is going down, because, Sony are bringing the PS4, Xbox are bringing whatever they bring. Do you really want to spend all that money on a press conference where no one's going to be talking about what you say?
Yeah, because everyone's going to be it'll be another situation where Nintendo lost this. Because every year we're who won E3? You can win.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all do it. Even I do it. But this year, Nintendo just couldn't. You're right. They couldn't really compete against what Microsoft and Sony are going to bring to the stage.
Especially because of how the Wii U is selling. It's not like everybody's going to be like, oh my god, did you see that new Wii U thing? I'm going to go buy it when it comes out, because nobody's buying the Wii U anyway.
Yeah.
It's I need to get that new hotness for the Wii U. Oh wait, I think they've sold 3.5 million units, which is worldwide, that's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out in what?
December.
Yeah. Getting really close to 6 months in, and they're not pushing any numbers. I mean, I think the PS3 was selling better than this at this point in the beginning of its life cycle.
Oh yeah,
yeah, which is a pretty low benchmark to want to beat.
Exactly,
and they're not beating it.
But E3. I wish I could go to but my job says nay. They don't like giving people a week off.
Till like giving you a day off from the signs of things.
Oh yeah. And speaking of we do got some bad news for Nintendo. Here we go. If you have a PlayStation Vita, you can access the Miiverse on the browser, but you can't do that on your 3DS.
That's just
that's just too perfect.
That's hilarious. It's what are you doing on your Vita? Oh, I'm making a Mii. Gotta go in the Miiverse. Gotta get in there.
But you would think
bonkers.
that they would, really capitalize on the fact you have a handheld and let you do it. But nope. That's not how Nintendo gets down. Nintendo wants things to go their way or no way.
It's our way or the friend code. Suck it.
Are we gonna? Speaking of suck it, are we gonna talk about how much Bobby Kotick is getting paid?
I was just reading through the agenda to see where I want to go. So, Activision CEO Bobby Kotick, Mr. Activision, he got an 8.
As he's known to his parents.
Yeah, as everybody knows him. They just call him Acty. He got an 800% raise for doing such a fantastic job. He was making $8.1 million a year. Chump change. That was 2011. And then in 2012, apparently, everybody's like, Bobby, you're doing such a great job. You haven't said anything stupid in a while. We're going to give you a raise to $64 million. Close to 65.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not direct pay. That's, total cash and prizes compensation. So, you hit benchmarks and all that kind of stuff. But that's a lot. $8 million to $64 million in a year? Holy balls.
And Activision is not laying anybody off. EA, on the other hand, dropping people like flies. I think they laid off 2,000 people the other day.
10% of their whole workforce.
Yeah.
Yeah. EA Montreal is already basically gone, and they just announced, what they're estimating to be 10% of their entire workforce is.
But they're not telling where it came from.
No. But I mean, that's the EA, so I'm sure who got affected will hit the press soon.
Now you know that it was EA really is the worst company in America, laying everybody off. Douchebag.
Well, they've just made some big missteps, and Activision's had a reasonably good last 2 years, even last 3 years in a lot of ways. But this 800%,
and that's without releasing a Guitar Hero game.
Yeah, but
I think that's probably why they're doing so well.
But Bobby Kotick, this 800% raise, that's not normal. So this whole raise and how much he's getting paid is already being questioned by watchdog groups, saying that the stock awards aren't really sufficiently tied to his performance as a CEO, and that his compensation package is just completely insanely out of line for what the rest of the industry deals with. And it's kind of hard to question that. I mean, 800%. 800%?
Dude, this is a company that is in charge of World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, StarCraft 2, Call of Duty. They have got the biggest goddamn games in the world under their banner. There's gonna be money coming around.
Yep.
Yeah, but still,
it's ridiculous, but I understand why it's happening.
Oh, I'd love to live in a world where that was your pay.
$64 million.
Hey, I would happily take an 800% raise.
As would I.
That would be pretty good.
But just to put it in perspective, in terms of the tech industry in North America, this puts him only number 2 in terms of how much he's making, and I think the number 1 is, I believe it's a woman who works for Oracle.
I don't know,
or some company. I can't remember which one. But I mean, he's the second wealthiest, tech CEO in terms of total cash and prizes compensation. His total pay. That's how powerful video games are.
No, that's how powerful Activision is. Nobody else is making that kind of... Peter Moore ain't making even close to that, man.
Man, Activision are running the world at the moment when it comes to video games.
Well, that's what happens when Activision and Blizzard get together.
Yeah, it was the best decision they ever made.
Yep. And, man. This week, one of my coworkers did something very bad. I'm not going to snitch on what he did, but he f***ed something up, and it was a very expensive f*** up, but he... nobody said it was him. And he's like, you guys aren't going to snitch me out, right? I was like, dude, I would snitch on you for a $2 an hour raise. If they offered that to me, I would snitch on you right now. He's like, I can respect that. And that still wouldn't be an 800% raise. God damn it. See, now... now my focus is shifting. Now instead of equal opportunities for the speeding tickets, we need to all get 800% raises.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I want to be Bobby Kotick. I want to get 800%. Every year, though. I want an 800% raise every year. Which means in 5 years, I'll be making $1 billion a year.
Yep, and when there's no money left in the world's economy...
Zombies.
Yeah, this is how it happens.
Yeah. All right, so it's time to get to the big issue of the week. And this week it's douchebags, because they're out there on the internet being douchebaggery.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's always going to... I'm probably just going to pipe down on this topic, because this is one of those conversations where, look, it exists. People are always going to do stupid fucking things.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot that we can... I mean, I can say right now that what you're about to hear is things that I hate, but it's not like anything can be done about it. There's always going to be someone making... Well, all right, so what's happened?
I love the fact you're like, I'm not going to say anything, and then you're like, all right, oh no, I'm going to have my opinion, I'm going to shut up. Okay, wait a minute, here's what happened.
Yeah, okay, so what happened is someone has made a video game about the Boston Marathon bombing. In a style similar to what happened with Sandy Hook, the video game, and the Columbine Massacre video game, and
the Chris Dorner video game.
That Last Stand video game. All are completely tasteless and just done by horrible individuals.
Yep.
But those people exist, and they're always going to exist. They probably read Reddit a lot.
Yeah, but it's
about as much as I've got to say on the subject.
It's pretty messed up. So what we're talking about, like you said, is the what's it called? Boston Marathon 2013 Terror on the Streets is what it's called. And don't bother going and look at it unless you got a sick fascination with it. But it's just a platformer. You jump over pressure cooker bombs, and it's got some little extra nice little f***ed up parts to it. Like if you win the race in this game, it says you've willed the terrorists to stop terrorizing forever, and now you can have sex with Obama's wife, America forever. Which is all sorts of mind f***ing weird, but all these games that have come out after the tragedies, they're all pretty sick, and it sort of exposes some of the dark humor, or how twisted people are, especially now that people anywhere in the world can hear about these tragedies and get how they feel about it out to everyone online really quickly. But there's a difference between, like people laughing at... Because when tragedies happen, people try to make jokes and try to find ways to deal with it, and there's that kind of humor I kind of get. This isn't that. This is, I don't even know. It's the kind of sick, twisted thing that you didn't really see 20 years ago. Like you didn't really see people in the paper writing articles, mocking people who were killed in the college shootings in the 80s and stuff. But now you can put a game or a video or a comic and stuff and get it out to everyone and just offend as many people as possible.
Yep. It's a cry for attention. It's like, look at me, I made this game. Please give me the negative attention I crave. Or you could be one of my fellow douchebags and you could love this.
You know what really pisses me off? Like, beyond just the fact that, you have to be a sick f***er to be spitting on the victims of these tragedies. But one of the things that pissed me off is there's two different Canadians have been involved with making some of these fucked up games.
Doesn't surprise me, those damn Canadians.
And like that really pisses me off. Like, yeah, there's like millions of us, so you can't really come down on any one Canadian. But,
we can.
Don't f*** up for the rest of us, dude. We're supposed to be the nice guys, not... I mean, and one of the other guys who's made one of these games was, I believe, Finnish. But it's not even specifically Americans themselves making fun of it. It's
the world.
People on 4chan. It's people from other countries who are just using it to mock the United States. And then there's all these mini games that are also being put out by all these people who, if you've heard the term false flag, these are the people who believe in conspiracies that, like the Sandy Hook and the Boston bombing were staged by the government to take away guns or freedom or whatever kind of crazy shit. But there's all these little comics and stuff from them, and I think there's even a little video game as well.
Well, there's that, and then at the same time, I remember when the NRA did their press conference post Sandy Hook, they actually brought out one of these stupid, like, online made in somebody's basement games as, like, a reason for blaming video. Because they're like, look at video games. Why can't they be to blame for the problems of the day? And that was one of the games they brought out. I was like, that's not a video game. That's an internet thing that some douchebag made with his Cheeto-stained hands while he was sitting on his beanbag chair in his mom's basement. God damn it! Don't let me in with them. I'm not them.
Just the media and people in general have this sick fascination with the bad guys and whatever, and it should always be, the focus should always be on the victims, on how to help them, on prevention. It should never be like Chris Dorner and the Boston Marathon subjects and everything. They shouldn't. I mean, the aspects to their criminal trials and stuff like that should be news. I get that, but just glorifying them with these editorials about what was their childhood like, what was this, what was this, what was this. Well, what about all the other people who are more important, arguably the victims? We these guys can only really get a rise out of people if we all watch.
Boom. I think that's just enough of that. They'll get no more attention from this show.
Yeah, so we're going to take our own advice and we're not going to mention it. I guess we kind of played into the whole thing I was saying we shouldn't do.
Damn it! We suck again. Well,
I don't want that on a t-shirt.
That'd be the show. The Burbcast is over. It's time for us to do our little housekeeping thing here, and then we out. All right, then we're going to, of course, some bonus content for those lovely people out there that bought the BRB podcast app. But if you want, the fun doesn't stop here. We keep talking all week. Follow us on Twitter. I'm Dave at Dave_BRB. Kev is at Krellith, and Pacman is at Pacman Polar Bear. Go to the iTunes, subscribe. There's other ways, RSS feeds. Go to the website. Go on YouTube. Get on the BRB TV. Subscribe there as well. Oh, yeah, and we got a Facebook page. Go like it. Hit the like button. You know you want to. Pac, you got some forum shout-outs?
Oh, yeah. Got a shout-out for Mick Siegel, Oryx, Inspector Redwood, Dangerous Brian, Shaky Snake, and Bilbo T. Baggins.
And on the iTunes shout-outs this year, this year?
Did you say this year?
Yeah. I also said last tunes, I think. Not quite there. Alright, so on the iTunes shout-outs for last week, Skins921 from the US, Bud284 and Richard BRB from the UK, and Temple Runner 3579 and Frozen454 from Australia. Still, only 3 countries that we have reliable reviews from. So, come on, I told you guys in Uzbekistan, let's do this.
Canada was there 1 week.
Yeah, Canada came out, showed some love.
Yeah, where are our Fiji reviews at, huh? Send me a tweet. Let's say, hey, go check Fiji.
Where are the reviews from the United Arab Republics?
I know people in Brunei listen to our show.
Awesome. Get them to review us.
Oh, man.
But that is the show.
That's the show.
We shall catch you all on the flip side.
Yep, we're going to go do bonus content now, so we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you next week right here on the Burbcast.
Boner content.
Oh, yeah.
Later.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.